palm reading of a male whose age is 39. We are reading his hand. Before we start the video, I would request you to press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update. You can call me or you can email me. These are the phone number and the email that I mentioned out here. Now we straight away head to this particular hand image that we have in front of us. In this particular hand, it's a unique hand and there are few good lines and few bad lines as well in this particular palm. So let me start by describing the good and the bad lines that I see in this palm. The first area that we start is the area of Mount of Jupiter. Mount of Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet in everybody's life means growth, expansion, honor in one's life. Big and it brings growth in one's life. So if any line kind of starts from the Mount of Jupiter, something like these that you see out here, and they join either the headline or the lifeline, the meaning remains the same. It means your life or the mind is getting guided by Jupiter. If it joins the headline, it means your mind is getting guided by Jupiter. If it joins the lifeline, it means your life is getting guided by Jupiter. Jupiter is a big planet, so it basically would kind of bring growth and expansion, honor, respect, position in one's life. So because although these lines are joining at a really early age in one's life, so this particular age is approximately 18 years. This is even before the age of 18. But the effect of these particular lines remain throughout one's life. This is the starting portion of your life, so it would remain throughout one's life. Now, see, high position, people think that high position is only position that we get in our professional life, but it's not like that. It's a general trend that starts from early portion of your life and it remains throughout your life. So a tendency of reaching to a higher position starts from early portion of our life. So those tendencies are going to remain in this particular person's life all throughout. But one planet doesn't give all the result. It's a combination of all the planets put together and all the lines put together. We combine those things and then basically the result comes. So one good line doesn't mean anything and one bad line would not mean anything. So the bad aspect out here is that this is the area that you see that there's a jumbled up of lines, many crisscrossing lines. These are so many crisscrossing lines. So having less lines is always better than more lines on the palm, and having horizontal lines is considered to be a negative sign. So if a person has got more lines out here, this is the area of Mars negative. This is just a name. This is the area of Mars positive. This is just a name. So Mars negative is the area of anger, aggression, and fire. So having more lines over the area of anger, aggression, and fire would mean that the anger is going to come on the wrong issues, and that's a negative aspect. And there are more lines out here as well. So this is the area of planes of Mars. Planes of Mars is the area of temper. So if there are more lines over the area of Mars negative, the planes of Mars, our temper is going to be loose. See, tempering, you must have heard of tempering of the sword. So a good sword is where if it is tempered in a good way, we heat it and cool it, and cool it, then basically it becomes really strong. But having more lines out here means that tempering is bad. It means that the person is getting angry over wrong issues, the temper is loose over wrong issues. So the person needs to take control of their temper. If they are able to take control of the temper, things can become better. Now another line that I would like to point out here, this is the heart line. Heart line, generally people think that this is the line for emotions. This is the line of sensitivity. This is the line for idealism and many more things, relationships and partnerships. And I have tried to correlate this particular line to your profession as well. And people think that this is only for your love life, but I try to see every aspect of your life on every aspect, on every line possible that I can see. So having many branches at the starting point out here means probably they have they love children and they are able to attract children towards them. This is first aspect. There's a small island like formation out here. This is an island like formation. Islands on the heartline is a little bit negative sign, and there's an island out here also, there's an island out here also. So there are two or three islands out here. The islands on the heartline might mean elongated periods of emotional stress and anxiety. So I would advise the person, try to remove anxiety, stress from your life. And even if there are some issues that might be going on in your life, try to contain them somehow or the other. You have to basically find the way out and try to remove all these things. So another way of controlling these negative impact of the heartline is by following the tips that a cardiologist might tell you. See, because this is the heartline, so it actually also concerns your physical heart as well. So if the physical heart functioning is not the best, what it would bring is anxiety and stress, and the person wouldn't be able to control that stress and anxiety. Now people think that money line, this is the money line, people think that money line would tell everything regarding the money. Yes, it does tell about the money, but it's not like that one line would tell every aspect of the money in your hand. So it's not like only money line would tell about the money. It is even the heart line can talk about the money, your headline, your lifeline, every possible line can be correlated to the money aspect of your life. So that's the reason why even the heartline should be really good. If the heartline is good, because see, the person when the person is young, the person can strike stress and anxiety. The person mentioned his age as 39. So when the person is 39 years old of old, still the person is able to handle those stress and anxiety. The person may tell me that no, I don't have those issues and these kind of things, the person may say. But in the earlier portion, these things can be handled well. But as we are growing older, these things become out of control. So that's the reason why I would advise this particular person to kind of give more stress to doing yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, eating right, eating at the right time, sleeping at the right time, leading a very regimented kind of a life, the life that a army officer lives. Eating at the right time, sleeping at, so these things are very very necessary for this particular person. And apart from these islands, the islands could bring about one thing I said, elongated periods of emotional stress. The other thing could be heart or eye related issues, specifically when this island is somewhere under the mount of sun. So this is the mount of sun. So if a person has got island on the heartline out here, so these issues may arise. So but it's not, don't think that 100% all these things are going to happen. This is just a small possibility. If the nails are really small, very very extremely small, then basically we might say heart related issues. But still out here we can't say with certainty any such thing. Now another thing you would notice that this is the heartline, and there are few branches like a kind of thing leaning downwards towards the headline. So again, this is a negative aspect. So having the heartline, having these branches on the heartline is again a negative aspect. What these lines basically means, these are lines hanging from the heartline leaning towards the headline. These means attachments. So what does attachment bring about? Attachment brings about expectations. Expectations generally are not fulfilled. Disappointments creep in, and anxiety and stress develops, and our performance goes down. So this is one aspect. Another way of looking at these particular line is something like the person is flirtatious. Now flirtatious doesn't necessarily mean only like flirting with a woman. This could mean even flirting with your work. So the person is distracted, the person is not able to focus himself. So this is what the person is. The person may have many qualities. I would show that he has got very good qualities as well, but that is at a later stage. But you need, any person needs highly to be highly focused. If the person is focused, even with less knowledge, even with less things, the person can be more successful. So having one quality of being focused is a very very good quality. Being a person who's distracted might be distracted and lose their concentration, and might get bored very easily. So this is what basically it means. uh, I'll just compare this particular heartline to a heartline of Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar just has a simple heartline, something like this. It means highly focused, and the person practicing detachment. Now people misunderstand this word of detachment. People think that, no, how can he be detached? He loves money, he wants money, all these kind of things. See, detachment is not what people think about. Detachment, the real meaning of detachment is what Bhagavad Gita says. It means being in a moment without having expectation of the outcome. That's what basically detachment is. And not carrying the extra baggage of past. So this person basically uh, has got these branches. So branches, having branches means carrying the extra baggage of the past. So this is a negative sign. Try to learn what detachment is, try to practice detachment, follow a guru who's a really good guru, not those fake kind of gurus, and offer your life. My advice would be, offer your life to one single cause. Don't think that everything is made for you. Think that only one thing is made for you, and you're offering your life to either to one relationship or to one particular cause. That's when things become the best. Now, we take a look at the line of Mercury and the line of Sun. See, both these lines, if you notice that there are few perpendicular, 7 lines out here on the mount of Mercury. Now these lines are excellent lines. These lines are deep lines. These lines are clear lines. These lines are not wavy kind of lines. They are not intermingling with each other. So that's the reason why these lines are considered to be good, because they are not intermingling. They are not forming a grill-like formation. So that's the reason I would say that the lines on the mount of Mercury of this particular person is good. Having independent lines means independent set of skills the person has. Having deeper lines mean the person is sharpening those skills. If a person had very thin kind of, you notice there's a line out here as well, there's a line out here as well, they are barely visible, but those lines we can easily avoid, because the lines that we can't even see are of no use at all. Having those perpendicular lines are of importance. So and don't think that more lines means, some people think that more lines means more success. It's not like that. Having more lines means more success. Even one single line, even one line can give you immense amount of success. And having no line also give you success, provided there is absolutely zero line, not even one line over the mount of Mercury. Even then it could be good, provided there are no lines. So when we go to the palmistry book, it says that a person who has got these perpendicular lines, multiple perpendicular lines, they could be very good doctors. They could be very good physician, anything like that. Some other people say that the person could be a very good healer. Healing touch could be there. But in my case, I say, okay, probably the person can be all those things, but at the same time, the person could be in different set of skills and a multiple set of skills. And a multiple set of skills, a person can be in not necessarily only a doctor. It could be other professions as well. But the person would be having multiple set of skills. This is these lines that you see are good. If these lines were intermingling and crisscrossing each other, it would have meant that the person is miscalculating and miscommunicating. Because these lines are independent, it means that there is no miscalculation, no miscommunication, and the person is not overworking their mind. Although more lines might mean overworking their mind, but if they were intermingling, something like that, then we would say really bad, because then basically it's too much of confusion, and overworking of any particular mount might destroy the qualities basically the mount has. So having less lines is always better than more lines on the palm. Now we take a look at the sun line. This is basically the sun line. This is a very weak kind of a sun line in the earlier portion of the life, and this is a very strong kind of a sun line towards the end of the sun line. So this is really good, and the line becomes much more stronger above the heart, and this is the heart line, and this portion of the sun line is really strong. So in the earlier portion before the age of 35, you would notice that there's no such good kind of a sun line out here. I'm just going to take a brief look at the other hand images, left hand also. There's a weaker kind of a line out here, and the line becomes much more stronger. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 lines out here. So even if they are strong, then we basically consider. If they are weak, we basically kind of ignore. Weaker lines of sun basically does have a meaning. Weaker lines basically means doubt and self-doubt. In the left hand, at least, there it is still stronger compared to the right hand. Left hand, because is this portion before the age of 35. This is before the age of 35. It is still better. Between the age of 35 to 53, it's kind of absent and it's kind of weak. So these lines are comparatively of less use when the line is quite dim and dull. So that's what basically it means. When the line becomes stronger, stronger line means that there is no self-doubt, and the person can see his path very clearly ahead of him. So if the line is strong, it means clarity. It means that the sun is shining bright and there are no clouds in the sky, and you can see your path very clearly, so you can run your car at a great speed. So strong line means you're energizing your work. Many people say that, many different palmists might say, oh, this is the luck line. Some people might say this is the name and fame line. I don't say that this is the name and fame line or the luck line, but automatically, if the sun line is good, it means you're giving energies to your work. You're because of you giving your energies to your work, you're more successful, and because you're more successful, the chances for name and fame increases. And you might think, oh, I'm lucky, but actually it's not about luck. It is more about you energizing your work, you yourself who is energizing the work. So this is the other aspect. The headline out here, you would notice this is the headline, this is the money line. This portion is before the age of 35. So before the age of 35, you would notice that the line is jumbled up, like it's a kind of a very, very confusing kind of a line out here. So there's lots of confusion out here, and specifically the line is unclear just under the mount of Saturn. Now the mount of Saturn has got good and bad qualities. The good qualities are is money management. It means responsibility. It means being grounded, knowing the ground situations very well. And the bad qualities is the opposite. It means bad money management, like unwise decisions, not knowing the real situation very well. So if the amount of Saturn is a little bit disturbed, or the line of head is disturbed somewhere out here, then it could mean depressive tendencies. It could also mean before the age of 35, depressive tendencies, depression, all these kind of things. And probably the effect would be that probably the stomach is going to get affected, or sometimes the stomach is affected and your mind gets affected because of a upset stomach. So it can work either way. So more lines out here would also upset one's stomach. It means too much of heat is getting generated. I've already mentioned this portion of the area is the area of Mars negative. Mars is generally known for red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire. Having too many crisscrossing lines out here means the person is getting angry over wrong issues, and because the person is getting angry on the wrong issues, the stomach can also get, it might affect the person's stomach. So the person needs to take good care of the stomach. I've already suggested the remedies, what to do if the stomach gets affected. And let me just take a look at the other hand images that I had received. And out here, if you notice that the money line starts on the mount of moon, this is the money line, starts on the mount of moon, and then basically it ends on the headline. So this is a little bit negative sign. So money line starting on the mount of moon might bring about benefits from mother, sister, wife, daughter, benefits from trading activities, service industry, foreign countries, travel industry. Any such thing may get applied to this particular person's case. So the money line ending on the headline means at the age of 35. This point is age 35. The intersection of the money and the headline is age 35. So when the money line ends on the headline, it means trouble comes at the age of 35, around the age of 35. And what might happen is 2 or 3 things. One option could be that because this is the money, and the chances are it's going to affect the money. The money can be affected due to job loss, work loss, business loss, any such thing. This is the first. The second aspect that may get applied could be that the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down. so more responsibility falls onto this particular person's head. The second option. The third option could be that person's personal life can get disturbed, and because the personal life gets disturbed, it's automatically going to disturbs one profession as well. So this is one of these things can get applied when the money line is ending on the headline. Now, this ends and another one starts at the age of 34. It's very weak till the age of 35. At the age of 35, it again rebounds back. So it's reasonably good. And again, when it touches the heartline, it kind of ends out here. So somewhere close to the age of 55, it ends again. Another parallel line is running to the main line from the age of 37 till the age of 55. Another one line starts from the age of 53 to 55, 57. Another one starts from the age of 53 to maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 or years more. And again, there's a V-like formation out here. So don't think V is victory, but V is considered to be a good sign pointing towards the fingers. It basically brings a result, and during the portion where V is found, it's considered to be good. The reason why we say V is good, pointing towards a finger, either towards the sun or the Saturn mount, is considered to be good because energies penetrate the fingers and they get kind of accumulated out here. So the point at which a V is formed, significant results can be expected. So V is forming on the money line somewhere close to the age of 53 out here, and on the sun line somewhere around the age of 56. That's the approximate age I would guess. And so this is what I could see. And towards the end, you will notice that on the lifeline, there are a few lines kind of pointing towards the amount of moon. These lines are a little bit negative. These lines are of health loss or wealth loss, or sometimes we willingly give our money to our relations or to any particular cause that we have in our mind. It could bring also a desire to travel. It could also bring, it could also make a person restless. And another meaning could be, because this is the area of travel, and lifeline traveling towards the amount of moon means more travel. And it is said travel is the biggest educator. So our perception of life basically changes a lot during those particular years. And when we find these lines are more prevalent somewhere close to the age of 60, starting from 60 onwards, 55, 60 onwards, roughly 60 onwards, when we find these particular lines. On the headline, it's a little bit unclear. You would notice I talked about upward lines. Upward lines are gains, and utsaha, umang, these are positive signs, and this is the headline. And there are few downward lines as well out here. Now downward lines pointing from the headline, pointing more towards the amount of moon, it could bring about mental disappointment. The upward, as I mentioned, those are good signs. Downward means your head is getting pulled downwards, and those events are taking place at an earlier age, before the age of 35. And it's better not to have these particular lines, because these are formative years for you. These are important years in a person's life. Downward lines bring disappointments, but at the same time, if there are some downward, there appears to be also upward. So good and bad things are happening at the same time, and few good things and few bad things are constantly happening. Now, as far as property goes, see, sometimes we see property on the money line. So if there's a square-like formations out here, square-like formations on the money line could bring about property, and these squares appear to be forming after the age of 35. That's what I can guess. And if we just take a look at the money line in the real initial stages, this is the initial stage. It breaks and restarts. So this is a very early portion, maybe 25, 26. So break is considered to be bad even in the earlier portion. Then the line joins out here. It kind of joins out here. So joining of another line to the main money line means benefits coming to the person. And it also appears from the main line. This is the main money line, is something like a money river. If lines are joining, it means a tributary is joining the main river, so more flow happens. And then there's an outflow also. So outflow, all these things are happening before the age of 35. So that's what I can basically see in his hand. I would just briefly take a look at the other hand images that I had received, and probably I would end my video out here, and the balance part I would continue in the phone talk I would be doing to you. Thanks for watching this video, and before I end my video, I just repeat few things. Importance of money in terms of how much money we'll be making is just 15%. It is each and every line, each and every aspect of a palm that can tell about the money aspect, even the headline, your heartline, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other planet. A saint once said, you don't need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. Keep positive thoughts and keep good company. That's what matters the most. See, sometimes we are in the bad company, and because of bad company, things can go bad. And sometimes I might have told you many negative aspects as well, but I've seen in many cases, because a person is in good company, in good hands, then no negative aspect gets applied. Out here, one or two things all I would add further. This is the heart line, and there are few parallel lines out here as well. So these are kind of sister lines, and sometimes we also call them as girdle of Venus. It's an incomplete girdle of Venus, not a perfectly formed girdle of Venus, but still it is there. So girdle of Venus kind of makes our heart go something like this, up and down. When we are happy, we are really happy. When we are sad, we are really sad. So this kind of thing can come about. We have to keep our emotions really stable. That's when things become really good. So because people love stability, every person wants to associate with very stable person. So this is what, as far as the sunline goes, see, sunline becoming prominent out here is after the age of 53. But in practical palmistry, the book says that, okay, this is how we calculate. This is the headline. So this portion is before the age of 35. This is 35 to 53. And this is 53 and beyond. But in my practical experience, I found that whenever I find a sunline that is very deep, clear, singular kind out here, it automatically might mean success in the earlier portion of your life as well. The reason why I give this particular reason is because suddenly things can't become good. So that's the reason why I give this my opinion, that if you find strong sunline, it means that the person would continue to work and there would be no retirement. It's not that the person has to work, but because the person is productive and would remain productive throughout their life. So that's a reason I can basically give out here. I would end my video out here, and thank you for watching. Bye and take care. Do ask your questions in the comment section down below. Thanks. Bye.